It's been going from the home shop to here. I bought that tool cabinet, moved all my tools in there, and I don't know where anything is. This is just glued on. Not glue, it really doesn't take a lot. So they're all going to be pretty destroyed, but this time they're like rocks.
So that piece you're taking off, that's supposed to be more spongy or...
Well, even the new ones aren't, I wouldn't call them spongy. Yeah, you can put your finger into it. It might stop one or two stitches.
Hey Steve, is it true that the 6 and the 4 doors are the same?
Very similar.
So the 6, the 4s don't have anything like that on the top though.
No.
They do?
4A does.
But
4A uses a door top.
I don't think the 4 does though. Well, maybe I just never had it. That's a possibility.
4 will have a painted door top.
Like this.
Like this.
Yeah.
6 never did have a painted.
And the 4 door won't have the lock. The lock is
Lock is part of the handle.
Right, right.
Keep in mind too, if you do want to reskin a 4, you can't buy a 4 skin.
That's a different clinic.
You're working for tips then, right?
TR4 door skin is not available. No, you can buy TR6 door skins, and you have the additional hole for the lock that's punched in there, and you can just weld that hole closed, and refinish it. So this is just glued on back here with contacts. If anybody wants to do this, the best glue to use is the 3M yellow leather strip type glue. You brush it on both sides, let it tack up to it before you go to put it together. Pretty fit first before you glue anything. Make sure you know where you're going to go with it. It ain't never come off. Because the chances of moving it again are pretty slim. Stuff is pretty tacky. I had a friend that does a lot of upholstery and he buys this stuff in a 5-gallon bucket. He keeps my little can filled up.
Is that contact cement basically?
That's all it is. I said, the biggest problem with changing this top is getting the old one off and the door cleaned back
Right.
again. You want to get the most of this off. And again, all I do is add an old chisel with a beater. And I keep a relatively sharp edge on it. You just scrape this stuff off and then take, what works well on it is a glue off stuff in the spray can. Or mineral spirits or lacquer thinner. High test. Anything that you want to play around with something that takes it off. So before you put the new one on, refit it, make sure it fits properly on your door. And you might even want to put little marks where you're going to center it and stuff like that before you actually put it on. The new one will overlap about halfway to this notch here. And it should wrap just around the edge here. So, yeah. Make sure you glue those areas real well, double coat it maybe, and let it tack up before you try to put it on. They did a nice job with these curtains, weather curtains, they're called. But boy, getting those suckers back on, that's better than mine. Can I have it?
Now we're getting a bit more going.
Okay, we got that part done. Now we can actually pop off our outer seal. This one is hard as a rock. You know what I found is the new ones you buy, it doesn't matter who you buy them from, they'll last worth of crap. You're lucky if you can get 3 years out of them. They start falling apart. And it's that way with a lot of rubber products. Just noticing the gasket for the rear view mirror here is in really, really good shape for as old as this car is, sitting outside and all that. I guarantee you, if you looked at a gasket on one of the repros that's been on a car for 2 years, and it's all cracked up.
Right.
If there's a rubber type engineer in the house, I don't know what the hell they're doing. But I think it's UV stabilization or something along that. Where the rubber just isn't as good. It's amazing.
They just don't get the compound.
Yeah, you just get your buys.
I'm not sure they're even rubber.
No,
Before I have a gasket, I bought one, it was new old stock, and I had the other one I think I got from the roaster factory for the other side. It's, the new old stock smelled like rubber.
Yeah.
The new one from the roaster factory, it's like vinyl almost. It's not as pliable, it didn't fit.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I'm not happy with them. I know that in 2 years or so, they're gonna start pulling away on the edges and stuff. My car, you know, I probably have my third or fourth set. Drives me nuts, but that's how I got good at replacing them. And hopefully you'll get good at replacing them. Speaking of that, getting these out of here, don't bother wasting your money on the Moss tool that pulls these things out. Puts in the clip. The Moss tool, in my estimation, doesn't work with crap. I hit a garbage can many years ago, about the day after I got it. And I make my own tools. Not hard to do. There's articles out there about how to make a tool with a
Hacksaw blade.
As soon as you bend the hacksaw blade, it's gonna crack.
Mine's still fine.
I mine too.
With a hacksaw blade? Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
Run screwdrivers.
Probably invented to tell you the truth a long time ago.
Here's an original. God, things like a rock.
These are copper.
Oh, that's even
Braid.
great.
Makes more sense. I noticed them.
And again, make sure all the clips are on, so you don't have a tendency to try to reuse them.
They're just going down.
Into the door, into the confines of the door.
Is there some place you position the window so you break it properly? I mean, you were jamming down in there with a screwdriver.
Yeah, the window's gonna be able to move back and forth. And the only thing that's gonna break the window is hitting it on the end. I mean, pushing on a window on the center part of the window, you're not gonna break it. Where they get real sensitive is if you're around the edge, where they can't handle the stress. Shatter.
Like when you're removing the clips of the screwdriver.
Well, yeah. I'll show you, and it's a trick that I do. If I'm just replacing weather channels or weather strips in the top, I'll take them loose them, take the door panel off, take these bolts out here, three on this side. You don't have to take the bottom one out, take the top two out. Take this one and this one out, loosen this one. Those are brackets that hold the side channels of the window. Let it fall aside. Now the window just flops back and forth. You've got all kinds of room you've got to work in there. Because what happens, the gap between the top and the window channel and the door is very narrow and you can't cool it. So therefore, what are you going to do? You're just not going to put a clip there. We're all a tendency to be a little bit lazy. And that's where it really needs the clip the most, is right on that outer edge. Because that's where it's going to start to come back off. The clip will go on the outer edge. So if you loosen those out, then you can put that whole window back.
Take the top or just loosen.
I take the top ones out, loosen the bottom ones. Sometimes I'll even take
Mine
the
was
bottom.
like this.
Depends on how tight you are. They're all a little different than what you run into. This one you could
Just make
probably
it rounds. Oh, I don't know if they're gonna go like that. No.
without doing anything. There's plenty of room here. The outer is pretty tight. each one's a little
You see, have you found alignment problems with the windows when you replace the tracks?
No.
Doors?
For the most part, there's really no alignment you can do with a triumph window, TR type window. Side to side, not like you can with the American cars or most European.
So what I'm talking about is basically,
You know,
the way the window will come up and go back down in relation to your top. Is that right? After I put new tracks in, my windows want to wind up and go behind the top rather than on the outside.
you could adjust that. There are very small amounts of adjustment by shimming the bottom bolt, the bracket behind the bottom bolt. Because now that will allow you to bring the track. You need to. You're coming.
I need to get the top out. And
There's
there's,
brackets. Did you replace brackets?
yeah,
The bracket might not have been made really correctly. And
That's
you
what I
need
think.
shorter bottom braces so you can move it in. It'd be somewhat easy fix. You're gonna have to take it apart and pop the rivets on the bottom bracket, shorten it, and rivet it back on again.
okay.
And cant the window back out. Or try to loosen these top bolts or elongate bolts a little bit if you've got some room to work with. So you can move the top bracket out. Either way, it's gonna get you what you want. That is really the only alignment you've got. Most cars, American cars, all the rest, you've got alignment for the window front to rear. You can bring it right up and just, get it exactly where you want. You won't move it much in the front. There's just no room to play with it. You're almost better off moving the door than you are the window. We had one car that Mark Moore helped me with a while back where the window, when you crank it up, it's hitting the windshield post.
Okay, yeah.
And we tried everything we could. We ended up, and the only way that we fixed that one, we took the window out, worked the bottom channel off the glass,
Okay.
and then used urethane window adhesive, filled the channel full, dropped the glass into that bottom channel, got her alignment, and let it dry that way.
What'd you do, roll the window up and leave it sit?
Clamped it in place where we wanted it. So now we've actually got the bottom of the window in its holding channel, but we're not square with it. We canted it a little bit in the bottom channel. There's no adjustment.
Could you with the windshield a little bit though?
All right.
Could you with the windshield a little bit too? You could change the camera.
Well, now what are you gonna do with the top? Be nice if you never put the tops up. If I move the window, the top's gonna be.
Top's last year's anyway, right? So-
Yeah. It's the battle of what are you gonna fix first? It's a tough one. Yeah, the windshield will move back and forth. But then what you just crack so much. The battle. Keep in mind, they were just throwing these things out of the factory, get weird down the line.
They seem to work.
Let's say we're gonna take the window out, we're gonna take the window channels out and all the rest. Next thing that I would want to do is take the door latch mechanism. And if you have problems with your door latches or anything like that, the best thing you can do, these things get all gummed up and gooey after all this time. They come off very easily. There's no alignment on this part of the latch. The alignment's on the plate on the vehicle. So don't be worried about door closure and alignment on the rest. And it's fairly simple. There's what they call a hairpin back here. So just take and pull this lever back. Off comes the little hairpin. And I'll take this off and go off.
Is it-
Now we'll lose that hairpin.
Is it the same on a 4, Steve?
No, totally different.
Okay.
Keep in mind, a TR4 door is about twice as complex as a TR6 door.
It's all riveted.
The door regulators are different. The way they mount to the bottom channel of the glass is different. The bottom glass channel is different. The glass even has a different part number. I didn't know that until a while back. I don't know what's different about the glass to create a different part number for it, but they do have a different part. But we put TR4 doors up.
door regulator was very poor.
It's junk
Yes,
in comparison.
yes.
And anybody really doing restoration probably won't put TR6 regulator.
It would take some modification to do it. It would take some modification to do it. Yeah.
I think the glass difference is on the bottom of the glass, there's two tabs on either.
The tabs on the,
Right.
And the size of the tabs is different on the 4 and the 6 foot.
makes sense.
But the TR4 mechanism is
Totally different.
But it's easily rebent.
It is.
Bigger screw here.
bigger than
There. TR4 was the first try.
the first picture in the windows.
First one was roll up.
Now, are they 4 and 4A the
They
same?
were in a
Or the 4A like the 6?
No, 4 and 4A. Okay, Jay, I'll ask you a question. What's the weirdest, Bob, you're gonna know this. The weirdest part in a TR4 or 4A window?
I don't know what weird means.
Well,
The person on the other side of it?
The button itself. The lock.
I don't know that.
Is it the leather washer?
What is it?
There's a leather washer in there that.
Herbert's got the pack. There's leather washers in a TR4. To do what?
Hold grease.
Yeah. The window channel on a TR4 is held to the regulator with a pin and a clip, where the TR6 it kind of just goes to a hole and drops out. And on either side of that pin in the door channel, you put a leather washer that's been soaked in oil, and then load everything with grease after you put it all together. And that does something. I don't.
Magic.
Yeah, leaves a streak on the window.
Yeah, you can do that. It's the weirdest thing ever. What the hell are they doing? But yeah, they have visions of horses and carriages and all this other kind of stuff going through my head when I hear about the leather washer. Yeah.
That's huge.
They use felt washers on your front wheelbarrow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
Those go in the garbage
That's-
can, and put real rubber ones in there.
I'm gonna have the door handle for this one.
So you've just loosened the door lock before you do that, Steve?
Yeah. Boy, is this thing working rough. What happens when you've been sitting outside for 15 years?
All that plastic kept the water properly inside.
Inside.
they didn't work all that well to
And the
begin
leather
with.
washer kept the water in, so it wouldn't drip out.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna try to do this the right way. You don't see it on the total butcher sometimes. The plastic is actually being held in. They got it tucked behind the window channel. So it gets pinched in with the window channel.
Did everybody else see those? Did everybody see the leather washers?
We didn't get them back there.
Okay.
And just in case you're worried with your TR4, the rest of the factory does still carry those.
Yeah, so does Moss.
I got a couple of old belts I can be going.
Yeah, you can make your own. I have,
Well, they have to be within 7 millimeters tolerance.
I think I found one leather washer in about 6 different TR4 doors that I parked. You know, everybody's taking throws them away. There you go. Yeah, that one. Now you can make a pattern for a new one. There's even a little piece of cardboard stabilizer up here that the top foots go to.
Well, with the engineering.
Did all the sixes have that plastic? I've never seen that in mine.
Look at that thing, Frank.
Good choice.
4/8.
The 4/8 have it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that was like a selfish thing. We make, what's the matter? Yeah.
What year is that six, Steve?
73. Get rid of
It does.
Oh, there's a good indication that the window channel is shut.
It's not Catholic.
Now, we know that we're out of the block. See how simple that was to remove that. No big deal. What I would do with these is soak them in mineral spirits, paint thinner, whatever, for a couple days and let it get in there real well. And then just do a good flush out cleaning as best you can. Another thing would work well. Just take brake clean, or my favorite stuff. I've got a case. It's electric motor cleaner. It's good stuff. You can get it on anything. You don't have to worry about melting plastic on you. Because I've destroyed things with brake cleaner. Oh, crap! I did. But this won't destroy it, and it's pretty effective cleaner. And that way you can get in and spray around all the little things.
What is that called again, Steve?
Gunk electric motor cleaner.
Now, Steve, do those mechanisms often wear out or just come
No.
out?
They just get sticky and old and
Generally, it's not a mechanical problem.
You want to move those up with something?
yeah, once you get it all good and clean and everything, and then just take good old oil and start shooting it in there to all the pivot points.
Unless somebody's done some bad body work on it, got some line over out.
And then what I'll do is put grease on the latch parts. But for the most part, oil does a wonderful job. These things are always done well, to the point where they don't want to work. At that point, you can see there's a screw here and another screw here to hold the door handle on. I think we'll just leave it there for now. I mean, it's just more parts for me to lose. Nothing to it to take the door handle off. But if you do want to clean, take the door handle off, and again, you can wash the button mechanism out and remove that and smooth that up a little bit, or take it apart and have it re-chrome if you want to do that, replace it, whatever you want. Tier 6 is a very simple little door handle, just a push button, adjust the, yeah, push the button real hard to get the door open. It might just be a simple adjustment, or it might be everything clean. Just go either way. Five 16ths of it, screws. Two of them. That's your adjustment right here. The screw will, it's got a lock nut on it. As you can actually bring, let's say if you've got to push the handle in the button in real far before it releases. Take and screw that out a turn, and snug it back down. Try it again. Move the actuation. But again, you can take it apart, clean it up, have it chrome, goes faster.
Your mind.
Yeah. Then you take the door, the latch handle part off, just again, 5/16 screws. No, this is these, yeah, again, you just flush that out with cleaner and loop that up if you want. You can buy these. If you want to replace it, but have to see one out. This little piece of foam here is pretty important. You can replace it with felt, whatever, any kind of foam, whatever you want to do. But make sure you put something in there because it will rattle. That metal bar comes across there and it's just there to slide from the door.
Yeah, this one had for 1,400 miles. Right in the nuts.
Yeah.
Steve, would you replace that piece if it was bent? Is that?
No, just straighten it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very simple piece. The worst thing that could happen to it is the spring could be broken. I've never had to deal with it.
The barrel spring on the back.
Yeah.
That weight's full. Yeah, this one back here. That was broken on mine.
That can happen. Not replaceable, then you replace the whole.
And they're available all the time on eBay.
The whole piece, you mean?
Yep. And regulators too. You'll see the whole here.
All right. We'll get down there. Herb was talking square holes.
Does any of my cars work more if I just take it apart?
There's a lot of us who dislike, number one, the top door pull and the other door pull in the door panel. Neither of them are very good options. I really like the old TR4 or 4A option where you got an actual handle that you can pull. And they did away with that in the 250 and went to the top handle in the 250. Yeah, much cheaper. So these two little square holes, those are for the spire nuts that hold the actual TR4 handle on. Now, got them here, but this is a similar concept. This is the headlight spire nut. It's a square cushion nut. And then you can get this size to put in there, and you can actually go back and put your old TR4 type door pull on there if you want, which are regulations. But you can just buy the spire nut that actually fits that. It's the same thing as this, just a slightly smaller size. And just
Pop in a hole and then you...
pop this hole in the door panel and put the handle on and you're done. It's a real easy option. And boy, is it nice to be able to grab something that's rigid.
Yeah.
And
So just leave it.
We back to four? Are we back to foreskins or what?
You guys are gonna drive me
The challenge is, you put your door panel up, it doesn't have two holes in it. One hole is the door panel.
You can put your door panel on the bottom, get it in position, punch it all in like you normally would. And it's a pretty cool, simple operation. Just take yourself an out and look where the spire nut is because the door panel comes up on the estimate down. And punch all in.
That's right.
Well, you put your door panel in so you can